given permission to use their voice to be used as training data set, as opposed to the wild west of AI platforms using unethical data scraping methods to replicate and synthesize voices without permission.
Yeah,
Now,
that sounds like a mouthful right there.
are you familiar with the whole reason of the strike and the AI?
I'm kind of familiar with
Okay, so the essential part of it is that a lot of video game companies and a lot of movies wants to use AI, especially voice actors, as they give permission to record their voice once, and by using AI, then all of a sudden you can replicate that and put those voices in the game without paying the actual people doing the job. And the SAG went on strike because they didn't want people to be used as a tool,
Right.
as opposed to being hired to do your job.
Exactly.
The vote came through, it got passed, the deal was in, and now all of a sudden, the SAG, who is going against them, have joined forces with an AI company to
Yeah,
have
'cause
this happen. It's a little shiesty.
Yeah, it's a little contradiction right there.
Right, so it's not in their best interest to team up with guys who they were fighting against.
Yes.
And especially now, because one of the
But, I
issues,
mean, they probably got tired of fighting because,
it was 118 days that they were on strike for,
yeah.
but you figure if you're gonna go 118 days, you might as well come out winning.
Yeah, but then it's just like the money and then the cost of living. I mean, some of them are living in California and New York.
Correct.
These are the top, most expensive cities in the United States.
Correct.
Bills are gonna catch up. I mean, I don't know about you, but I know when my bills are calling my name, I gotta do what I have to do to make sure they get paid.
If you think about it, the fact that they're going to use their voice one time, they only get paid for one session, as opposed to getting the job for doing the entire voice session, that
Yeah.
was the issue. So now, they're only gonna be able to do one session, they do, like I'm doing right now, I'm recording my voice, that's it, and they can use my voice however they want later on in the video games, as opposed to me coming in every week to do my job. What's an interesting point is that, if you think about it,
Burn it all down.
where the contract is in such a way that if you decide you don't want to consent to have your voice being digitized and used by AI, they'll just find somebody else. So a lot of people are going to be out of work
Yeah.
because they don't want to agree to this quote unquote victorious agreement that they all quote unquote agreed to.
Right.
Oh, Man Jenny Feldy,
Yeah.
what do you think?
Just to confirm, because I'm here late. We're here late from the south. That's what my cowboy hat. So did they approve this AI agreement? Is this
This
definite?
is,
'Cause
yes,
was
this
talked
is
about.
approved
So I'm
by the
hearing
SAG.
first from you.
Yes, by SAG and the company, which is, I already forgot the name, Replica Studios.
So
They have
that's it.
announced it.
That's it. As an actor, I mean not me, but whatever. You go in, record once, and that's the deal.
Well,
And
that's what
it.
they're allowing people, that you're being
Wow.
fairly
This
compensated.
is very new.
Yes, it's very new,
All
it's just
right.
announced.
What are they paying
Wow,
them
yeah.
though? Like, is the payment going up? at
It's
least?
quote unquote fairly compensated, so that's also up to interpretation for each contract.
This is so,
So-
timely, and this is exactly what I've been talking about all week.
What
And
do you
two
got?
people kind of got mad because they thought I was being negative Nancy, and I've been warning people. If you follow my social media, I said, listen, the world is changing, just like the music. Musicians,
Yeah.
that whole fell. We saw that years ago. So we saw that. We get it. We know. But humans, a lot of times, we don't have foresight. Something has to happen for us to get it, and then maybe 10 years we'll get it. All week. I know one person is not happy because they follow the mainstream SAG way of acting. I don't follow mainstream anything. What am I doing here? This is not mainstream. I'm not mainstream, okay?
Hey.
I'm not Cat Williams, but I'm pretty out there, okay? So, yeah, I've been telling people this, and I think a lot of actors, I didn't know this was gonna happen so soon, are going to have their face smacked, and they're gonna be gobsmacked, and the old model of applying to these shows is out, and being a TV star is a really dumb goal for most people. I can keep going, but yeah, no, it happened sooner than I thought. Wow, I thought we had a couple weeks or months or years
No,
until this happened.
it's fast, and like I said,
Yeah,
the fact that they
yeah,
agreed
yeah,
to it, and now all of
yeah.
a sudden there's a deal not too much later, is very, very shiesty in my
I
eyes.
think a lot of people are going to be very surprised. People I know.
So, moving
Yeah.
on,
Wow.
From
yeah,
the-
that's big.
to be fair, the other guy just said a bad thing years ago and got fired department. After being found guilty of, quote, 2 misdemeanor counts of harassment and assault, unquote, which in New York is not a crime, but considered a violation, more like a traffic ticket, none other than actor Jonathan Majors was fired from his multi-movie deal with Marvel Studios. Jurors acquitted Jonathan of intentional assault in the 3rd degree and 2nd degree aggravated harassment, which were the major, no pun intended, charges. The sentencing hearing is set for February 6th of 2024, and it is possible, however unlikely, that Jonathan could be sent to jail for up to a year. For those of you not paying attention, or care for that matter, Jonathan was arrested due to his now ex alleging that he forcefully retrieved his phone from her, causing, quote, an excruciating injury to her right middle finger, and while she exited her car, hit her on the back of her head and then tried to force her back into the car, causing a cut behind the ear. Jonathan says,
It's not great.
I was reckless with her heart, not with her body. My hands never struck a woman, ever. I shouldn't have been in the car. I shouldn't have stepped out on this relationship. I shouldn't have been in this relationship. If I'm not in the car, none of this is happening. If I leave the relationship, none of this is happening. If I'm man enough and brave enough to say, I want to see somebody else, or I'm done now, I'm not in that car, we're not here, I'm responsible for those things. Since his arrest, Jonathan has been dropped by his talent manager, his publicity firm, has been fired off of many projects prior to the court case, with only Marvel playing the wait-and-see approach that has now that the axe has fallen. Now, I saw the video of the incident. Did you guys see the video? Jen didn't see it. Mohena, did you see it?
I saw a clip of it where like she was running.
They're after him.
After him.
Right.
So I love Jonathan, maybe I do, but I also like it's like dang, like I was rooting for you because like I can't say who's to say like what she's saying is wrong or untruthful, but then I'm just like, dang, like why?
So,
but yeah, I saw it, and the videos weren't. Like you said before, videos are like they're clear, but they're not always clear.
Right.
So you don't like. There's no real audio of it yet, as far as I know, and you can't. So like, what she made saying that happened could have happened, or it didn't happen, but I wouldn't know. But as far as I've seen the camera, he's kind of guilty.
He got acquitted. He got acquitted from the major intentional assault. He's only got in trouble for a misdemeanor of getting his phone back from her and hurting her finger and hurting her ear by trying to get the phone away from her and then running away like the road runner from this man for blocks. In the video, he's running for blocks from this lady who's chasing after him.
Yeah.
It's the craziest. I've never thought that this man would be running from that woman. It's almost comical seeing the video.
But you ever heard like there's nothing like a woman scorned? So
Yes.
So like
I've lived that.
Yeah.
So imagine like you could be this big stocky guy, but let your woman be upset at you.
Yeah.
You're
Right.
running because you know she's unhinged.
Yeah. He's like, I'm getting out of there.
Yeah, like,
I'm
she's
getting
gonna
out of there. And so because he's
unhinged.
like, give me my phone so I can run for my life, he got in trouble.
See, but he's a movie like you're an actor. You could have bought a whole new phone. You should have just left the phone at that point. Like why escalate the situation if you know she's holding on to your phone and she's angry at you and you've been with her for I don't know how long. At one point you understand how she is when she's upset. So if she's not gonna give you the phone, I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm gonna just simply walk away and then get myself a new phone and have this phone deactivated because then you have no access.
What if you shot a movie on his phone?
Well, baby, it's back on iCloud.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. I don't know what to tell you.
Your backups.
Backups, you
You
know?
never know.
You know what? Or use a good old flash drive. Put it in the flash drive. Have it saved onto the computer.
So what are your thoughts about this, Jen?
I wasn't there. I'll just give
That wasn't you?
I'll give you an example of one person I know who's in the entertainment field, and I can tell you he does this to multiple women. Maybe me included, but it never happened. There's some people, so we don't know who's guilty, but sometimes someone seems like the victim, but they're really the one causing all the problems. Because I have heard a story of someone who has been chased, attempted stabbing, had the cops called on him. Really, it sounds like this person's really abused by women. But then years later, things come out. Oh, he's like raping people and punching people and abusing them. Of course, the women are going to retaliate. And I have personal stories in my family and people I know. A lot of men or women, women go to jail. Or I can tell the story of a family friend who had a competition with someone I know whose ex-wife is crazier. Well, the guy won because he ended up killing his ex-wife. So who's the aggressor? Is she the aggressor that's causing him, or is he retaliating? Reactive abuse, it's called psychologically. So we don't know if it's reactive abuse or who started. And honestly, they're probably both guilty. That's my end of the thought.
So that's why
Takes two to
it's fine that he
tango.
got.
There's probably
guilty
mental
for
illness in
certain-
both of them because you don't stay in a relationship with someone when all this is going on if you're not a little cracked or
Yeah.
monetarily dependent on the guy or something. So they're both probably whacked. Yeah, they're whacked.
They're
That's
whacked.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, if someone's crazy, you walk away if you're sane.
What she said.
All right. So for the last bit of news from
I wasn't there.
from the editor insert song here department,
Cool.
according to reports, the list of the top 10 most pirated streaming shows of 2023 has been released. Now, what do you think would be a good? You don't even watch streaming shows, do you? That silence means no.
You're saying she doesn't watch Netflix or Hulu or anything?
Oh no, I do. So if we're
That's a
talking,
streaming
Not
show.
if you illegally stream stuff. What do you watch
Oh.
that's on streaming, TV shows and whatnot?
so I watch a lot of Korean dramas.
Korean
Oh,
dramas. Well, that's not. They didn't make the list.
Well, that's a dang darn shame. I don't. Yeah, a lot of my are Korean. Yeah. Oh my God. If you need a list of
Oh
Korean
no,
dramas.
yeah, I do. I want.
Okay, so there's Vincenzo.
Okay.
There's
wasn't
My
that good.
Hollow. Vincenzo wasn't your
Pachenko.
Vincenzo.
Wait, Pachenko with the like the.
Vincenzo is what I'm saying.
Oh, Vincenzo.
How do you spell it? How do you spell it for listeners?
Oh, baby, my spelling is not that great. It is VINCENZO,
Okay, no, I haven't seen that one.
I
Okay.
believe.
Cool.
Okay.
Where do we watch
Don't
it?
cancel me if I'm wrong. You can watch it on Netflix.
Thank you.
Vincenzo, there's My Hollow. If you're into romance, that one was cute.
Okay. My Hollow?
Yeah, it's like HOLO.
Okay.
Then there's IT1 class.
How do you spell it?
ITEWON class. Then there's so many.
So we got 3.
Jen is just making her list.
No, because someone else just like you passionately told me to watch, and I never did, and I didn't get a list. So here I can try again. Thank you.
No problem.
Enlighten me.
My Demon. Ooh, that one. Let me tell you, that's the one I'm watching right now.
All right, cool.
All right. Well, anyway.
The other person that told me even talks like you and kind of even has your mannerisms, and she's obsessed with Korean dramas, and she's not Korean.
Because they're
She's far
so,
from Korean.
they're like the way their drama is just crazy, and their romance, it'll have you delusional. It really have you thinking love is like so. Like, I want my man to treat me like this and like fight for me like this, but in reality, it's not like that. You're getting,
But you can make it like that.
I mean, in your head, delusional again.
No.
Reality, no. Let's, if we're being
No.
honest, no, not in this
Okay.
day and age. No,
Okay, interesting.
no,
All
dating, no.
So the most pirated movies of 2023 would be Ted Lasso, Gen V, which is based off of The Boys. The spin-off.
Have you watched The Boys?
I have not watched The Boys.
A little bit. One episode.
You
Um,
need to watch The Boys.
Tulsa King,
Mm-hmm.
Monarch, which I have been watching. That's the
No.
Godzilla Kurt Russell show. Silo, which was really good. It's about the world where everybody's living in a silo that's underneath the ground, and to go
Oh.
outside, they don't know why they have to go outside. But it's like a good political commentary on how life is and how the allegory of decay, that you only know what's in front of you, but what's actually really happening around them. Secret Invasion, which was the Samuel L. Jackson Marvel one, is number 5. Ahsoka, which is the Star Wars one, at number 4.
My cousin got me into that one.
Loki,
Sounds
which would be
amazing.
number 3.
Loki's good too. I didn't watch the new season though.
The Mandalorian, which is number 2. And the most pirated streaming show of 2023 was The Last of Us, based on the video game of the same name.
Oh, I saw part of that, yeah.
Oh, were you
And when I
part-
was watching it, I said it's a zombie movie, and the person next to me said, no, it's a gay story. I said, no, it's zombie. He said, no, it's gay. And I said, all right, so this is what we saw on TV.
Yeah.
It's a zombie. It's zombies. But the guy thought he was gay. I swear. It's happened.
So that's it for the news.
It's actually gay and zombies.
So that's it for the news. So we're going to take a quick break in front of our live studio audience at the East Meadow Public Library, and we'll be right back with more It Came from the Radio.
I couldn't find it.
Everybody, this is Todd McFarlane of the record-setting Spawn comic series.
Okay.
And if you're looking for any kind of cool conversation about creators, about entertainment, about all that good stuff, you go to It Came From the Radio. You're listening to the right spot.
This is Quentin Flair, the voice actor known for Axel, Jamal, and Ryan from the All series. And you're listening to It Came From the Radio. Stick around.
Hey, I'm Mike Kingston, the writer and creator of Headlocks. And I am WWE Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler. And guess what you're listening to? You're listening to It Came From the Radio.
Hi, this is Amy Jo Johnson, writer-director from the film The Space Between, and you're listening to It Came From the Radio.
Meet Grandma having fun on It Came From the Radio. Meet Greg Berger also.
Everybody, this is Todd McFarlane of the record-setting Spawn comic series. And if you're looking for any kind of
And we are back. Welcome back to It Came From the Radio, especially all these back out front. It's your host, Mark Torres, speaking. We are here in front of a live studio audience at East Meadow Public Library. I'm here with Man Jenny Feldy.
Hello.
And I'm here with our special guest who's going to be talking to, with, and about, which is awesome because she's right here, Mohena Jeanpierre.
Hi.
Now, I have known Mohena for quite some time.
Yes.
We go way back.
Way back.
And back then, you were not a poet.
No.
So,
I wasn't.
what
You're a
happened
leading
between
poet.
back then to now that made you decide to become a poet? And why decide to go the naughty route?
The naughty. You keep saying naughty route. It's not only naughty things. It's a right.
I don't see it. So whistle one thighs and stuff in your thighs. That sounds a little naughty.
Well, what started me writing was I always loved writing. I had diaries, journals.
They said diarrhea, sorry. I was like, well, that'll lead you to something. The bathroom.
Definitely, but no diarrhea. Diary, right. Then I was in creative writing in 7th grade with my teacher, Miss Leahy, and we would always write poetry. That got me into poetry, fell in love with it. One of my best friends, Jeanpierre, she was a poet. I love her poetry. Beautiful. My other best friend, Tima, she's not here with us, but she does poetry as well. And
Where's Tima?
Tima, she's at work right now, so she couldn't be here with us.
Slacker.
No, you gotta make the money. The money's the motive. And I was dating a poet.
You were dating a poet?
I was dating a poet.
Did he win you over with his poetry?
I won't discuss that.
Is it in the book?
No.
But you like this poetry.
I loved his poetry.
And now do you like his poetry?
I still love it. It's very good. I won't discredit him.
How about the guy?
I wish him the best. I'll say that.
Listen, this all shapes her writing. These are relevant questions.
But besides that, I was in a rough time. I left my job in March. I wasn't working for a while. Then I got sad. I was very depressed. A lot was going on within the last 2 years, and I feel like since I had all that time sitting with me, I like it kind of gave me the shove to really go back into writing. And I was talking to God, like I was just crying. I'm like, God, like I'm tired of feeling this pain, this burden, and everything. And writing was just my source, so I was just typing away. And before that was Zane. I was writing my eroticals way before I wrote the poetry. And the reason I got into that is because I like Zane, and I was introduced to sex as a young age. Like I wasn't sexually active at a young age. Let's get that straight. But like I was introduced to sex at a young age, and my family would have my cousins, my aunts would have the book Zane, Zane's books, and she's an erotic author, and so I would skim through it. I was a little kid, I wasn't supposed to read it, but then fast forward into my early 20s, I'm like, I want to read some eroticas. I remember how spicy they were. I'm like, let's go see what's that about. And lo and behold, I couldn't find any of them. It was hard to get them online. I checked Twitter, I checked Tumblr. Maybe I wasn't too good in the social media aspect of finding it. So then I just started writing it myself. And then it started off with me sending it to my friends, and they would be like, oh, I like it. It's your friend. So you're always thinking oh, you're just gassing me up. You're just telling me this because you're my friend. But then I would give it to my coworkers, and they would also like it. And then I also gave it to strangers, and they'd be like, "Oh my God, this is so good!" And I'm like, "Oh." So then one day I'm sitting here, and
Wait, you were just walking around giving your book of erotica to strangers?
I wasn't. Let's not put it like that, okay?
Hey, check out my book.
It wasn't. It wasn't. Hey,
Yeah, you
check
can
out my book.
someone else.
It was. It was just like, oh.
Just saying.
We'd be on the topic of conversation with sex. I could talk about sex.
Alright, wait. How do you just, we're just gonna be talking about sex? How does that happen?
You'd be surprised. Like, you could be in a conversation at a bar, okay? You're drinking, and someone's talking about anything. We have kids here, so I won't say much. But
How do you think the
Too
kids
late.
got here?
whoa.
Sex.
Too late.
No, the stork took them.
Oh.
The stork took them and brought them.
FDA wise.
Right.
Sorry.
All right.
good news.
Okay. Cool. Since we're being honest about it, but yeah. So you'd be surprised how many people talk about sex and how comfortable, how comfortable they are talking about it.
Yeah.
So
Like my mom. Too comfortable.
too comfortable.
Don't want to hear it. Yeah.
My mom, total opposite.
Good. Let's switch.
No, I want my mom. So we would just talk. They would talk about it, and I'd be like, "Yeah, I would write eroticas," and they'd be like, "You write eroticas?" And I'm just like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Oh, you have it?" I'm like, "Yeah," and I'll let them read it. Sure enough, they liked it, and I'm like, "You know what? It's not too bad." And then one day I was sitting with my sister, and we were talking about books and stuff, and I was talking about publishing, and she's like, "Yeah, you should publish," anthology. And I'm like, anthology? And she's just like, yeah, it's a collection of sorts. And I had like a whole bunch. I had my poems. Let me tell you, good way to start writing: pain, the root of all of it. Heartbreak, depression, anxiety, all of that led me to writing my book. And it became something beautiful. I just liked it like that. That's how it all came.
Flipping on what you said, a lot of poets that I know do come from a place of pain and hurt. How were you able to take that and translate it to something that's enjoyable while still maintaining the sense of that pain that you felt?
I think it was just the imagery I was painting in my head while I was typing it. I'm very, like, in my head, it's just like a whole bunch of things. So I would just imagine it, or like I would think of like I live in a world of fantasies. So in one aspect, in one of the stories I want to say Seeing and Yang is the last story in my book. And this one is, the synopsis of it mostly is a girl named Vanna. And she's dating and stuff, but she was out of a relationship, and she starts dating again. She has this one guy that she's like kind of into, one of her coworkers, and this other guy she meets at a party. And while she's dating the coworker, or trying to get to know the coworker, she meets this other guy named Jeanpierre, and like Jeanpierre kind of wins her over, but she's still dating the coworker. And in the midst of it all, it's like a little love triangle, and she gets to experience love at the same time, but there's also like a sad ending. But I won't ruin it for you guys because you have to read it and order it on Amazon, and the link will be on the website. I will send it to you. But yeah, and then there's also Mona and Rico, which is the first story, and that was, I think in the book you will like get the sense of all, like the first book. Sorry, the first book is more like a active like sex encounter where it's just like sex, right, right. And then in the second one you kind of get the in-depth of emotion of lost. So in that part was like where when I was dealing with my breakup and stuff, and what it felt like to me, it felt like a sense of death. Like I was mourning the person that I was once in love with. And then in the last story, you'll get like it's like a combination of sex, but more like, I guess where I am now. So each story kind of was like a step in where I was in life. So the first was just like when I was very sexually active. Second was just like I was in love, but I experienced the loss of it. And then the last one is more so lost love and lust, love, loss, but also seeking God in that aspect in my relationship with God as well.
I had a book by my brother's ex-wife that was basically a story about us.
Ooh.
It was weird reading it, especially with some sexy parts in it. It was about my brother and this girl. Very awkward. But it was part of what happened, and you can tell what parts were really happening, what parts were made up. How much of you because you mentioned it was part of the breakup and the emotion, is in these characters and in the story. Is there all your friends reading? It's like, hey, wait a minute, that I know that.
No, so my emotions are there, but me personally, no, I'm not in there. So like,
You're not Vanna?
no, I'm not Vanna. I'm not. But like the feelings she's feeling, those are the feelings I felt, or I would imagine myself feeling if I was in that situation. So it's not me per se, but it's just my emotions. It's pure emotions.
So how are you able to separate yourself, the person, from your emotions to make it into a new character?
Well, based off the experiences I went. So like I'll just go based off of memory and how I felt in that moment. Because that's who I was in that moment. That's not who I am now. So writing it was just like, oh, that's who I was and that's what I did. Or this is what I would like or what I did like. And I'll just write it down. And I also think of like, what else would other people write? When it came to like sexting or stuff like that, I was very creative. I'm not gonna hold you. So it's just like it all worked out in my favor.
Well, you talked about who you are now, so it leads us to my first question. So on your LinkedIn, because I stalked you on the internet earlier, I saw that you reposted, "Who you are becoming is more important than who you've been." So, who have you been, and who are you becoming?
Who I've been? That's a great question, actually.
Oh, well, thank you. I only have 3. Hope you like that one. There's not much else. No. I freestyle.
Okay. Who I was, I would say I was an insecure girl back then. I was very lost. I didn't know. It's not that I didn't know who I was. Is that I was definitely a people pleaser back then. So I would do whatever it was to get the attention I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And who I am now, I think I'm more of a child of God now. I'm definitely connected to more deep rooted in my not spirituality, but my religion and Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a sister, paralegal, jack of all trades, truthfully, an author, poet.
You say sister.
Yes.
Like a family sister, like a church sister?
Both.
Got it.
Both. I'm a lover girl. Like I love love. I like the concept of love.
Mm-hmm.
This is a great quote. Damn, it really got me on this one.
Hey, we've done 20 minutes, so don't rush. Relax. Don't take out my anxiety. You relax.
Girl, that's rubbing off on me right now.
Yeah, I might.
Yeah. No.
Well, I can say that she was a bubbly person full of life and energy back then.
Still am. I still am.
So that was who you were, so you're still that same person.
Yeah, because I'm also the type of person, I don't let whatever my traumas were, I would never really allow it to affect who I am to other people.
Mm.
I would say I'm very supportive. I'm always there when you need me. I'm the comforter. I feel like I'm a blanket. So like if I see someone down, I would want to keep them warm and safe and give them that safe feeling that I always wanted. You feel me growing up? Thank you. Oh, yeah.
Next question, then.
Well, wait, she's not there yet. She said who she was,
Oh,
but
we don't
then
know who
the rest of it says
who
is
she is now.
becoming. Who
Who am I becoming? So now I'm becoming
Let
New
her
York.
finish. Not even married.
No.
Not even dating.
You know I am dating.
No, him.
Oh.
He's like, don't do this. Don't tell her to do that. It's like, come on, Mark.
Yeah, relax.
Yeah,
Mark.
let her finish. I want to know who she's becoming.
Who will becoming? I will be New York's bestseller.
Nice.
Speaking that into existence.
Nice.
I don't know who I am right now, but I'm loving every step I take into who I am becoming. I will say that because I used to like to plan everything, and I realized with life you can't just plan everything. It's never going to go according to how you plan it. So I'm just learning to. I don't want to say roll with the punches. Just go with the flow in this aspect of life, and just accepting whatever comes at me with open arms.
Be flexible. What is it? The strongest man in the room is the most flexible man in the room. Yes and no.
You gotta stretch first. Get up there in age. You just can't do it.
How old are you?
Oh, 29.
I'm 39. You'll be fine.
What? Really?
Yeah, I'll be 40 in September. It's not that old.
I didn't think you were.
At 29, I was a freaking moron. I'm still a freaking moron. Look at that. So let's go to the next question. Enough about me. We're all about you. Why, if you answered this already, I'm sorry. Sometimes I have dementia at 39 years old. Why was it so important to write this book?
I didn't think it was important, to be honest with you. I would say my sister and my friends and family gave me the strength to push forward with it. They were just like, you should do it. And I think, I like to take on new projects and do certain things. Like prior to this, I was modeling. Never did modeling before. And I was just like, you know what? I want to try it. I did it and I liked it. And now I was like, okay, if I'm a writer, I like writing and people like my writing. Let me just make a book and see how it works out. I'm not going to hold you. It was very scary. Still is to this day. Like right now, shaking. Yes, it is, because it's just like you're vulnerable and everyone gets to read your most inner thoughts, your emotions and everything, and they can say whatever they want about it and you just have to go with it. And I'm sensitive. I'll keep it up with you. So it was just like, doing this was like, okay, once you put this out, that's it. Like, this is out for the world to see, and it's not just the confinement of your friends, workers, and some strangers. This is like.
And modeling too.
Oh yeah, well modeling, yeah. That was more so to be more comfortable with my body. I think a lot of times in the world, especially for females or women in general, it's hard because like you have so many rules or construction, like social constructs that that tell you how to look, what to be like, and I got tired of hearing people telling me, oh, you'd be better looking if you did this or if you were like this. And I was just like, you know what? I want to be more comfortable with who I am. So I went into modeling. Oh, interesting. Right? I did.
That's why you went into it? To be more comfortable?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I did some nude. I did some lingerie modeling. I did even a Black History Month one too.
Nude? Nude Black History?
Oh no.
I've never seen that. That would be groundbreaking.
And that, you know what? That could be
I'll
something.
get the team together. You want to shoot it?
You know what? We could work on something.
Think about it. I like that nude Black History. This is her idea, though. I mean, it's like a little clap, but
You know what? We can say.
Think about it.
I'll think about it.
And then you can, have someone who does voiceover or you reading your book, to the pictures.
To the pictures. Oh my God.
You know what? Our twin flames burn holes through the ozone layer, and then we have a picture of you, and maybe we zoom in on some naughty bits.
You know what?
Hey, I'm a producer more than I'm not a writer. Really.
You know what?
Think about it.
I'll think about it.
You're a model too. You might as well mix it all together.
Mix it all together, and you know that it's the best of both.
Yeah, use your skills.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk with the big guy. I'm gonna talk to God first about that. See what he thinks about that.
Not new Black History Month, but with dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs. Okay.
I don't know. I'm just trying to be inventive.
But yeah, and then so yeah, writing came in, and I was just like, it's a new project. It's not something I've done before. I've never published a book, so I was just like, and the process of it was a bit stressful because going back and forth with the publishers and then editing, and then them asking me like, do I like this? And I'm just like, no, I don't like it that way. Like, let's go back to the original way. It was a trip, but it was worth it. I can't wait to do my second book, but
as a model,
why?
Or is this you on the cover?
It's not me. Actually, my sister helped me, and my sister and my best friend Tristan, Tristan, they helped me with the cover. So the title says La Vie c'est un danse. So life is a dance. So I took dancing since I was little. Since I was, I want to say 2 or 3 years old, I was dancing. Yes. So dance has always been a part of my life, and it's also a saying my grandmother would always talk about, like, if you don't dance, you're an idiot. Like, life is about dancing and enjoying it. Right. So we got the ballerina. Her favorite color, my grandmother, Anna, that's what we say. And her favorite color was blue, so the background was blue. The heart, because of life, you don't have life without a heart. The bleeding, my sister added on to that, and so. And it all came together, and then Tristan just added the roses, and I think it was just a nice final touch to it. So.
Why are you so tiny in the back?
Oh yeah.
Because I don't want to be the main focus. The main focus is my book.
Okay.
But you are your book.
Right.
It is you. You said it yourself. This is the raw version of you. But
right.
In your.
But I want people to focus more on the writing and not the picture of the author.
Well, we're gonna have to because I can't even see you. So the writing is definitely taking center stage.
And that's the whole point. Because if you really want to see me, you could Google me. You'll find me.
You said you have a relationship with God.
Yes.
How did that affect what came into the printed word?
In the printed word. Shockingly, I know when people think of like God, it's just like, oh, you can't talk about sex and all of that stuff, right? No, you can. Like, you can have these conversations with him. You can talk to him. Some people, like, if you ever see me driving the car and you see me going back and forth, that's me and God. Like, it's not me being on the phone screaming at somebody. Like, I'm talking to him. So when I asked him, like, you know, how do I help, like, how do I deal with my emotions? Like, how do I get over this hurt and stuff? He told me to write. And I wrote. And I wrote in my book. And I typed it all up. And that's how I got my book. So, like, when people try to, like, oh, you're a Christian, or you can't talk about these things, that's a lie. It's a myth. Don't believe it. You can. You'd be surprised.
So now that the emotions are in the printed word, are they gone from you, or are they still there?
You know, actually, no, they're gone. I don't really feel like those feelings I was feeling. I don't have them. I think that's why I believe writing is such an importance for people, because like once you write it down, like that's it. Like the emotions, it could be there sometimes, like it'll linger, but it's not as effective as it was in that moment she was writing it. Like if you had a diary and like you read back to your diary when you were like probably 13, 14, you're reading it and you're like, wow. Like, and I remember going through that thinking like this was like the biggest thing in my life. And now, 29, I'm looking at it like, oh wow. Like, I don't even understand why I felt that way. Like, it's crazy.
It's funny.
I think I've mentioned this before. I used to work at Blockbuster for 10 years. And one day I was working there, and there was this little kid, probably 5 years old with his dad, looking at movies. And he says, oh my God, it's whatever this movie was. I've waited all my life to see this.
Oh my God.
And the dad's like, all your life? So in his world, that was it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So now that you've expanded and grown, when you put your emotions in there, and now you're going to have a problem, I would think, you don't have those emotions again to make another book. So what are you going to do now? Are you going to go around looking to get some hurts and break up with somebody else so that you're in the next book? What's going on?
To just date people just for material.
First of all, I didn't need.
You're going to be in my book, okay?
No, I didn't need them. I didn't need those emotions to write the eroticas. Like I was always writing the eroticas regardless. I think what pushed me was just the emotions of being hurt, where it's just like I have to focus on something else. So I focused on writing a book, and that's what I did. But I don't have to date someone to write another book. I'm already in the works of writing another book. So and I'm not in a relationship with anybody. I'm not hurt. I'm happy where I am right now.
All right, so I have to ask the obvious question, which I'm wondering about. When you're writing the naughty stuff, where does that come from? Is it personal experience? Is it stuff you've seen? Is it stuff you'd like to have done? How does that come, and how do you translate it onto the page to make it visual for everybody else who's reading it? Because like I said, when I read the other one, I was like, oh my God, I can't read this about these people I know. I don't need to read no more. How do you do that, and how do you maintain that balance? Because it is a balance.
I don't think it's a balance for me per se. It was just it was a mixture again, like. And I call him
balance.
Okay, in the quotes of Hannah Montana, you mix it all together and you get the best of both worlds. So
that's what she says.
Yeah, you never heard the theme song? You get the best.
No, I'm almost 40 years old. I don't know how to put Hannah. Like, oh my God.
Miley Cyrus,
but I like it. I'm trying to learn. about Korean dramas. Like, help me.
Best of both worlds. Yeah.
I know. Hannah Montana.
Okay, no.
I got Molly.
Yeah, no.
That's fine.
But it's the theme song. Just listen to it. So I'm not gonna hold you. It's a banger. It is. But for me, some of it I experienced, and some I wanted to experience. Okay. I would say.
Wish
fantasies. Again, in my head, fantasy, like a big door fantasy. Like when you grow up reading Zane, like my book compared to Zane. So you know about Zane?
No. I never really read erotica. I read really all health nonfiction. I wrote health guidebooks. I was just health nerd when I'm reading health, psychology, health.
Okay,
that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So nothing really fictional.
Zane, She
But
was
it's on my list.
Oh yeah, get on that.
Respect.
Very.
I'm celibate though, so is this gonna be a problem?
I'm celibate girl, so we in the same boat.
Okay.
But you might get a little tickle here and there.
Okay.
It's okay, you know, it's healthy.
Okay.
But some of it, a lot of it's more. My book's mostly fantasy, but some
Okay.
I did experience it. I won't say which story though, but yes.
Okay.
We're at social media time.
Uh-huh.
So where can people find out more about you besides just Googling your name, which is a unique name, I have to say?
It's a combination of my mom, Monette, my godfather, Harold, that's where the H came from, and Ina is my grandmother.
I was wondering.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Where can people find the book?
The book is on Amazon, but I would just send you the link. It's like weird. For some reason,
You
if
can't say I'll send you the link when you're on a radio. Where
You're
can
right. Well, I'm
people-
talking to you where you can post it on the website so they have access to it.
Okay.
But if they also want to, they can find me on Facebook or on Instagram. And my
Is
Instagram
it
page.
under a different name, or you're
No.
trying to pull teeth getting this information out
It's
of you?
not
What
pulling the
is it?
teeth. It's just it's the link. Like you'll find the link in the bios and stuff of my pages. I also have a Instagram page for the book. It's called La Vie on Dance, and you can find it there. And yeah, it's Facebook, Instagram.
And the Instagram spelling is LAVISEYONDANS.
Yes.
Listeners, play that back.
Now, you were kind enough to raffle off a book for our
Yes.
live studio audience.
Super great.
Now, do I have everybody's other half of the raffle ticket? Some of you have 2 tickets. Everybody has 1 ticket that's not in 2 pieces.
Very cool.
Making sure you have a second piece. Give that up to me. I can get it all in here. So everybody only has 1 piece of the raffle ticket, right? Everybody has 1 raffle ticket? All right. So what are you going to give away? You're going to give away a copy of your book.
Yes.
The number, please. No looking. Just get 1. Don't grab the whole pile. Just 1.
Okay, I'm trying to. You gotta speak to God first.
All right, there you go. Who is the winner?
371125.
Oh my
3,
gosh.
7, 1, 2, 5. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, stop.
Always remember that everybody wins.
We're all winners.
Yeah, we're all winners, but everybody wins at the East Meadow Public Library. So I want to make sure everybody knows that you come to the East Meadow Public Library. That's www.eastmeadow.info. We have a new show every month. And the East Meadow Public Library has other tons and tons of programming that they have at the library, and it's all for free. So make sure you guys go to www.eastmeadow.info. Now, Man Jenny Feldy, who ran away, is supposed to have her final thought, so I'll go with your final thought first.
You heard enough from
Mohena,
me.
you have